Nigerian Senate has suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan for 6 months over a dispute with Senate President Akpoti on seating rearrangement. The suspension was recommended by the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, citing a violation of Senate rules and disrespect towards the institution. Our correspondent Clojo sent in this report. The committee chairman, Senator Imaso Neda Bernard, representing Edo South Senatorial District, submitted that the committee carried out an investigation on Wednesday, during which the female lawmaker was afforded the opportunity to state her own side of the story. He read the committee's report during the plenary. During a suspension, Senator Akpoti Uduaghan will face several restrictions as salary and security details will be withdrawn. She will be barred from entering the National Assembly premises, and she will not be able to participate in legislative activities or represent Nigeria in any official capacity.
That the Senate do suspend Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan for 6 months for her total violation of the Senate Standing Rules 2023 as amended for bringing the President, the presiding officer, and the entire Senate in general to public opprobrium.
Correspondent Kulojo reports that a cross-section of lawmakers in their contributions expressed concern over the conduct of Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan, insisting that the Senate as an institution must be protected at all costs.
I appreciate you, Mr. President, being a liberalist. You want cooperation, you want collaboration, but the distillment of our rules to the hearing of every senator is very key. And should you go to your liberalism and begin to do cooperation collaboration in these chambers?
What occurred here was a flagrant disregard or maybe a misunderstanding of these rules. Your Excellency, these rules assures that this Senate is stronger as a whole than the sum total of our parts.
She has the leverage to do what is needful as a matured and responsible woman. But despite that appeal by my neighbor, she went and destroyed the names of prominent leaders of this institution.
Again, as I said earlier on, and clearly also stated in the report, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. You cannot at one end seek to take refuge under certain provisions of the rules, and in another arm seek to violate it.
That most distinguished Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan be so suspended, then my advice and appeal to her will be that she spends her period of suspension to read and learn our rules very well, so that when she comes back to the Senate, she would have come back as someone who understands this rule.
Today, everywhere, including the Rekete Radio, calling number 3 to come and explain things. Just a radio that we licensed is an insult. My role now is how to bring this integrity back.
Just like Moses told God, the Lord told Moses at the Mount of Horeb, you have stayed in this mountain for too long. You have stayed in this mountain for too long. Let us take Nigeria to the promised land. There are works to do for our people.
While pleading for mercy, the minority leader, Senator Abba Moro, recommended a 3-month suspension, which he said was enough for the embattled lawmaker to realize the mistakes. He further argued that Nigerians are watching and seeing them as statesmen, hence nothing should be done to bring disrepute to the chamber.
Therefore say that this Senate is aware that even in our homes, we have very recalcitrant children. we don't drive these children away from the house, so we keep begging them.
However, the lawmakers ruled that the suspension could be lifted or reduced if she tenders a written apology. After contributions were made by some senators from the ruling and minority parties, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpoti, made remarks highlighting his personal connection to the senator, emphasizing that she is the wife of a close friend. He recounted an experience from 2020.
Because even the senator we are discussing is the wife of my very close friend and brother. So I thought. On the day of our marriage, I slept in Kogi, in her house, 2021 or 22. The next day, I ran to Uduaghan airport. I missed my flight because the plane could not land since there are no light. So
the suspension for 6 months was sustained by the Senate President after a voice vote.
That the Senate do suspend Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan for 6 months for a total violation of the Senate Standing Rules 2023 as amended, for bringing the presiding officer and the entire Nigerian Senate in general to public opprobrium. Those in support of prayer will say aye, aye. Those against say nay. I put the question. Those in support of prayer will say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. That for the Senate to consider lifting the suspension or reducing the tenor of suspension, Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan shall submit a written apology to the Senate before any reconsideration of this case by the Senate. Those in support of prayer to say aye. Those against say nay. Nay.
Despite the suspension, Senator Akpoti Uduaghan was vowed to continue serving her constituents through all the means. She believes that the action against are unpolitically motivated attempts to suppress dissent within the Senate.
This injustice will not be sustained. The pursuit for justice